We're going to take the next 6 minutes to do the relaxation together, and then we will look at the painting. This is how we always start our sessions after we've all said hello to one another and checked in and see how we all are. We sit in a chair and we take 5 minutes to relax, to put some very gentle music on and arrive into our bodies, arrive into perhaps moving a little bit more slowly than usual, letting our busy minds still a little bit, and preparing ourselves to look at the paintings in an embodied way. So, take a moment to make sure you're sitting comfortably. Make sure there's nothing that's in the way around your feet or on your lap. For this first bit, it might be nice just to take your glasses off and put them somewhere near so that you can find them again easily when we finish the relaxation. And remember, this time is for you. This is for you to enjoy, to relax, and we're going to do it together. So here we go. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to take the next 4 minutes to sit comfortably, to relax before we begin to look at our painting today. And there's no right way of doing this or wrong way. It's simply about enjoying, relaxing, enjoying the music, taking the moment to slow down. So make sure your back is supported by the chair. Make sure both feet are resting on the ground. And bring your hands to your lap. One hand on each thigh. So very slowly we're going to begin to move our hands along our thighs, keeping the bones of the fingers in contact with the bones of the thighs. Bringing your hands towards you and then slowly stroking your hands away. This is really good for helping ourselves relax. Letting your breath come gently, easily. See if you can bring your hands to a stop and just take a bit of movement into your fingers as if you're playing the piano very slowly. And just take that bit of movement into your wrists. Not really thinking about it, just letting your wrists and your hands move to the music. Again, there's no right, there's no wrong. Do whatever feels comfortable. Lovely. And then we're going to take our elbows, lifting them up at the sides slowly and stretching out our arms. Reaching out to either side of us, just letting our breath come gently, softly, bringing the hands back down to the lap. And we're going to do that again. Lifting our elbows out to the side, floating them up, and then stretching out the arms. That's it. And then slowly bringing our hands back to our laps. We're going to take one hand and let that hand float up, slowly like a feather, reaching high above us, or as high as feels comfortable. And then again, floating that hand back down to your lap. And the other hand floats up, reaching as far above as you can go. Perhaps reaching for the sky. Bringing that hand back down again, softly, gently. bring both your hands together and just give them a slow, soft rub. And then bring the palms of your hands to your eyes. Rest your eye sockets right into your hands as if you're leaning forward into a warm nest. And taking your fingertips, begin to massage your forehead, softly feeling the bones of the face. And then taking your fingers to the temples of the face and finding the cheekbones. And then moving the fingers along down to the jawbone. And slowly bringing those hands down along the front of the throat, down towards the heart. Just resting both hands over the heart for a moment. And then continuing with the hands down over the belly, right back to where we began. Hands in the lap. Shoulders relaxed. Just bring your shoulders for one final movement, back up to your ears, and then relax them back down. Lovely. Let your breath come slowly, easily, and rest. And when you're ready, we're going to open our eyes and we're going to begin to look at our first painting. Dancing at the Museum. Today we're looking at Apple Trees in Blossom, painted by Antoine Chintreuil, a French landscape painter who lived from 1814 to 1873. We don't actually seem to have a date as to when this painting was made. Before we begin, let's just remember to turn off our phones, settle ourselves in a comfortable position, and take the time to ensure nothing is in the way of sitting or lying comfortably. All we need to do now is follow along, join in, and enjoy. You may have a printed copy of the painting near you, or you may be looking at the painting on a screen. Make sure you can see the painting well, and make sure you are comfortable. Enjoy this first moment or two of looking at this peaceful, seemingly simple painting of the countryside. What do you see? What do you notice? What catches your attention? Take a moment to notice the colours, what's in the foreground, what's in the distance, and where is your eye drawn to? And now let's begin to taking a step into looking more fully and noticing a bit more. If we begin at the top of the painting and the left-hand corner of the sky, and just let your eye wander across the painting, taking in what seems like a simple grey sky. It's almost just the one colour until we reach the gnarled branches of the tree, reaching right out of the painting and continuing along until we come to a second tree. As you let your eyes move across the painting, you'll be noticing daubs of colour, shapes, lines, and every so often something will stand out: a church steeple, a horse, a field of green, And as we move across the painting, we notice the little family of 3 busy with the tree. Notice the sloping slants of the roofs, the tall grey point of what may be a church spire. And notice how the hill rises high, almost to the top third of the painting. A clear horizon with specks of trees outlined against the grey sky. Consider the colours used in this painting, how the artist has used pinks, whites and pinks to pick out the budding flowers, and smudges of blue, almost purpley blue, to show the curve of the lady's bonnet or a headscarf. Let your eye drink in the strong black lines of the gnarled branches of the trees, reaching out across the surface of the painting. Trace the branches with your fingers, imagining the movement and flow of the artist's brush. Why do you think the artist was interested in this field, these trees, this scene? Look again at the buds of pink and white blossom peeping out, a signal of the fruits to come. So over to one side of the painting we have this little group of 3, busy, and what looks like perhaps a young sapling being planted. They all seem absorbed in their actions. And it's nice to take a moment to reflect on who these 3 are and what their relationship to this field of apple trees might be. Do they own it? Do they work the field for somebody else? One of the women seems to have a basket at the foot of the tree. And is that for tools, or is that carrying a picnic? It's a very quiet, gentle landscape we're looking at. And it gives us plenty of time to imagine ourselves into the painting and imagine who these 3 might be, and indeed which country they might be in. As our gaze comes right to the foreground of this painting, we notice just the many different shades of green, really creating a depth of texture, as if we're swimming into the painting through the green grass, arriving at the trees and arriving at the busyness of the trio and the quiet village in the background. As we pull away from the painting and take it all in as one, we might begin to notice other trees and blossom, or indeed flowers, perhaps daffodils. And we're going to just take in what season this might be. And what kind of a day? Is it cold, still wintry? Just the beginnings of spring? It's nice to take a moment to think about what qualities this painting has. Is it peaceful? Is it relaxing? Would you have this painting in your home? And where would you hang it? And finally, just take a moment to reflect how you would describe this painting to someone who doesn't have it in front of them. What would be the one thing you would want to convey about this painting and how it makes you feel? Apple Trees in Blossom was painted by Antoine Chintreuil, who lived from 1814 to 1873. He was a French landscape painter, He was encouraged by another artist, Corot, to paint outside, en plein air, which means painting outside, basically. Chintreuil was influential on the Impressionists, indeed on some of the artists we have looked at before, who also painted outdoors and who also tried to capture simple moments as they were unfolding before them. Chintreuil was admired most of all for the way he managed to capture light and atmosphere in his painting. So we'll finish looking at this painting by just thinking a little bit more about the atmosphere. We know it's the apple trees in blossom, the promise of a good apple crop. And just thinking once again about the trio. And where would you place yourself with them? Would you sit with them, chat, relax, enjoy the scene? Or would you get busy with your secateurs, supporting the sapling, supporting the apple crop? We hope you've enjoyed this painting. Good to have another painting familiar to us, good to have moved, good to have listened and relaxed to music. Thank you.